My name is Richard Gibbons. I am your intrepid Fridays at First podcast host and a member of the pastoral staff here at First Presbyterian Church in downtown Greenville in South Carolina. If you are new to our weekly podcast, welcome, and I look forward to having you join us each week. During a recent visit to Texas, I visited a local history museum. One of the displays told the story of Frank Skinner. Frank lived to the ripe old age of 103. In his youth, he was a cowboy and spent his working life ranching. When his granddaughter Samantha asked him about his secret to long life, he advised her to sprinkle a teaspoonful of gunpowder on her oatmeal each morning. Samantha outlived her grandfather and died at 106 years old. She left behind 14 children, 30 grandchildren, 45 great-grandchildren, 25 great-great-grandchildren, and a 40-foot hole where the crematorium used to be. Earlier this month, we were introduced to the mission, vision and values involved in our new strategic plan. This outcome prioritises the flourishing of discipleship in the life of our congregation. As we continue to develop this new emphasis, we are asking you, our congregation, to complete a survey. It takes less than 15 minutes. To access the survey, go to firstpresgreenville.org/events and click the icon. If you could, please complete this survey before Friday, February 28th. Jobs for Life is designed to equip men to find meaningful employment, and our men's ministry has partnered with Miracle Hill's Greenville Rescue Mission for the 7-week class beginning March 11 at 6:15. We are looking for a few men with a heart to serve others who will join our team to serve as mentors, helping and encouraging students through the class. For more information, see the FPC Men's Ministry webpage at firstpresgreenville.org. As we move towards Yellow Bag Sunday, please drive through the drop-off in the First Pres Church main parking lot or Washington Street parking lot this coming Sunday, 8 a.m. through 1 p.m. A large truck from Miracle Hill Ministries will be on campus and staffed to receive your donations. Thank you for partnering with Miracle Hill to help transform lives within our community. And today I'm delighted once again to welcome my genial co-host, Michelle Ward. Michelle's guest of the week is the Reverend Charlie Buchanan, and Charlie has some breaking family news for us. Michelle, Charlie, welcome and thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you so much, Richard, and happy Friday, everyone. I hope you are getting ready for a wonderful weekend. I am so excited to welcome Charlie Buchanan on the show with us today to talk about a really cool men's retreat coming up in just a few weeks in March. As you all know, or may not know, Charlie is on pastoral staff here. However, he is also the associate pastor of student ministries and youth and young adults, and he also helps lead the men's ministry. So Charlie is a really busy guy, but we are just so thrilled that he could take a few minutes with us today to tell us about the men's retreat. So welcome, Charlie.
Hey, thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate it.
Yes, so we are so excited. I know this is coming up in just a few weeks. Can you tell us a little bit about Pursuit, which is the name of the men's retreat, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we at First Pres have a vibrant men's ministry, and one of these staples that we do every year is this retreat at the end of March. This year it's March 28th through 30th, and we do this in partnership with 3 Gen Ministries. Men from all over the Upstate come together at Carolina Point, which is a young life camp. For this weekend, it's a Friday to Sunday that men worship, we fellowship, we talk, we have breakout sessions. It's just a wonderful time together.
Well, and Carolina Point is so much fun. It's like, I mean, it is a young life camp. So, of course, they have
wonderful.
all these activities for big kids like us.
That's right. Think of it as glamping.
Yes, because the rooms are really nice and they're heated and air conditioned and whatnot.
Absolutely. That's my kind of camping. That's my speed.
Yes, me too. Well, I know my husband Mac has attended these weekends and I think he's planning on coming again. So obviously you've got 5 meals. We've got 2 nights of lodging and it's like you said, glamping. But what should men expect to kind of come away from this with?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the big things for the men going to this retreat is that they will be surrounded by men in similar stages of life as them.
Right.
They will be equipped with great worship, great teaching and discipleship, and there's an opportunity to really just relax, have a good time.
Yes.
There's plenty of free time with activities all throughout the day that are, some of them are sanctioned and we all do them together. Some of them are go at your own pace and do whatever
Right.
you want to. So it's just a really great weekend of decompressing a little bit.
Yeah.
And this year, the theme is pursuing our authentic relationships. So we're going to be talking about the roles that God calls us to as men in regards to pursuing Christ, pursuing our wives and family, pursuing our careers, and really just everything that God calls us to be as men.
Absolutely. And that's just so great because I know the world is just telling men, you've got to be this and you've got to be that and perfect, and so many things. So I think this is just, I know personally, my husband Mac has really enjoyed this every time and has always come away making really great new friends that he might even see every Sunday at church. So
Yeah, it's a great time because we do have a large congregation here. It's a blessing, and it is sometimes hard for men to make connections just in social groups. And so this is a
Right.
great time where we put them all together
Yes.
and force them to hang out in a lot of ways.
yeah. So like all ages, or what would you say?
Yeah, so the age range here, anybody 18 or older is welcome
Okay.
to come.
Okay.
And so we have had a pretty broad spectrum of ages represented. There was a huge group of young adults last year.
Right.
And this year we're hoping for the same thing, but anywhere from 20 to 80 or 90 years old.
Yeah.
We've seen them there.
And what a blessing for some of the younger adults to maybe glean some great knowledge and wisdom and maybe even mentorship from some of the older gentlemen. So,
Absolutely.
well, that is so cool. And you can sign up for Pursuit. Like you said, it's March 28th through 30th. The cost is $275. However, if you can enter in that code FPC75, you will get an additional $75 off. But again, that includes 5 meals, 2 nights of lodging. And I mean, you just can't spend that little of money in one night in Greenville, South Carolina.
And it's a huge investment in yourself.
Absolutely. It's really priceless. Okay, so Charlie, tell me, are there any other events or Bible studies, gatherings that you would like to kind of encourage the men in our church to get involved in?
Absolutely. So again, we do have a vibrant men's ministry here at the church. One of the things that we've really been working on lately and have already begun is starting Wednesday night small groups for men. We just launched 6 new small groups with about 55 to 60 men participating across all age ranges. We are going through 3 Gen's next level material, actually. So it's just a great opportunity to get plugged in. These small groups are about 10 to 12 people each.
Okay.
And so if someone is interested in being a part of this, they meet on Wednesday nights from 6:15 to 7:15 p.m.
Okay.
And they can just reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to walk with somebody and get them plugged into one of these groups.
Great. Okay. And that is starting now, or when is that usually?
Yeah, so starting now. And if you
Okay.
can't join this semester, I know there's always a lot of things going on Wednesday nights. We plan to launch groups starting with Module 1 every single semester.
Okay.
So if you can't do it this semester, don't feel like you've missed the boat or you've lost out. We will be starting again at the beginning next semester.
Wonderful. Well, y'all reach out to Charlie. He is obviously just a lot of fun and also very knowledgeable. So we're glad to have him. All right, so Charlie, I'm going to kind of throw you under the bus here. I heard you had some big news. Is there something you want to kind of share with us that's coming up in your life?
I do have big news.
Okay, what is it?
So recently it was announced to the staff at the behest of Mason Simmons, my wife and I are actually having a son in June.
Yay!
And he is currently, they have scheduled for him to be due on June 19th.
Oh, wow. So right around Father's Day.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think so, I guess. I mean, it's around that time normally.
Yeah, so we're excited. We are absolutely thrilled. My daughter, who will be 10 at the point that our son is delivered, is absolutely ecstatic, and so we couldn't have asked for anything more.
She's going to be a great sister. Oh my gosh,
goodness.
and Carrie's probably just thrilled. It's a boy too. And
oh yeah, we're all kind of we're thrilled and also wondering how we're going to raise a boy.
Oh well, let me tell you.
I was going to say we might need to form our own podcast.
Yeah, I can tell you what to do and what not to do. No, I'm grateful for my sons, and honestly, I giggle at how great God was to give me two at one time, and that he must have been just trying to keep me on my feet. But yeah,
right.
I'll give you any advice that you need. And of course, you got all the love from all your First Pres friends.
Oh,
and
thank you.
He's going to have tons of babysitters and people reaching out. We're really excited for you guys.
Thank you.
Well, y'all come and hang out with Charlie and all of and all the men in the church and outside of the church. Come to Pursuit and really explore what your relationship with Christ looks like, and just look forward to a really fun and relaxing weekend. And again, just head over to firstpresgreenville.org/events and sign up. And thanks again, Charlie, for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle.
Over the last few weeks, I have been including in our Fridays at First podcast a segment entitled Inquiring Minds Want to Know. And 2 weeks ago, I responded to a listener's question about what is Christian nationalism. Last week, the question focused on living in fear rather than living in faith. This week, I am responding to the question, what do you do when heaven is silent and God does not seem to be answering your prayers? Well, the first thing to do is to recognize that for many of us, we have had that sort of experience. Such an experience, however, does not mean that God is not listening, but rather he may be more interested in changing you than the circumstances you are facing. In changing you, he is teaching you patience and perseverance. In the process, he may be changing your character and your personality, making you more Christ-like. So when he does not immediately respond, he's often teaching us to trust him despite the circumstances we face, and he may also be maturing you as you grow in your relationship with him. And finally, please take a moment on Sunday morning to welcome the Cameron, Robertson and Taylor families as they participate in the sacrament of baptism. At the 8:30 service, Reeves Gray Cameron, 1 year old, will be bringing Dad Breton, Mom Malin and Big Brother Wells, who's 3, to his baptism. At the 10:45 service, we have a rather special baptism when both Daddy, code James Robertson, and daughter Eleanor Marie Robertson, 7 months, are both being baptised. Proud mom Mary Margaret will be looking on as the family take a significant step of faith. At the 11 a.m. service, Elizabeth Libby Lawson Taylor, 8 months, will be baptised while Dad Jay and Mom Julia participate in their covenant vows and confess their faith while committing themselves to raising Libby in a Christian home. Since early January, Sunday mornings have been dominated by our studies in the New Testament book of Acts. This week we are immersing ourselves in Acts chapter 6 verses 1 through 7, which looks at how to manage the growth and needs of a vibrant growing congregation. We will be asking what principles can we learn from back then and then applying them to our own downtown church context. Please take a few minutes to read this passage as you prepare to join us for worship on Sunday morning. Over the next few weeks, we are planning to make available our Fridays at First podcast on a number of the major podcast platforms. We trust this will make it more convenient for you to join us. Meanwhile, I trust you have a great weekend, and I look forward to welcoming you on Sunday. P.S. Please don't smoke when you're having your oatmeal this weekend.